Huntington, it's live on a Friday night.
Live on a Friday night.
Live on a Friday night. Friday Night Live. There we go. All right, friends. Shabbat Shalom and good Shabbos. Beautiful, beautiful evening here in Huntington. A little warm for me, but you know what? It's okay. It's okay. Summer is on its way out. Thank goodness. Autumn is on its way in. And the new year will be here in a little over a month and a week, so 5 weeks. 5 weeks, and it's the high holidays, or at the beginning of the high holidays. But it is a beautiful, beautiful Shabbat evening, and I'll take a dozen to go. We are going to begin welcoming Shabbat, right? We're not going to just jump into Shabbat from the work week. We're going to ease our way into Shabbat, and we're going to begin by benching licht, by lighting the candles, and we're going to have Sam and James. You remember Sam and James. I remember Sam and James. They are here, and they are going to bench licht for us this evening.
You have to tell me who that is. Or...
Sam and James?
Yeah.
Up here. They come as a pair.
You got me.
Page 2 and 3.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahalik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Hey,
Thank you, gentlemen. All right, let's turn to page 9. Page 9 will have a responsive reading at the top of the page. Top of 9. There are days when we seek things for ourselves and measure failure by what we do not gain.
On Shabbat, we seek not to acquire the share.
There are days when we exploit nature as if it were a horn of plenty that can never be exhausted.
On Shabbat, we stand and wonder at the mystery of creation.
There are days when we act as if we cared nothing for the rights of others.
On Shabbat, we remember that justice is our duty and the good of our goal.
So embrace Shabbat, day of rest, day of wonder, day of peace. We're going to continue welcoming Shabbat on page 20 with Lecha Dodi, a song that comes to us from the Mekubalim, the Kabbalists in the northern Galil city known as Tzfat, which is a beautiful place. It's modern on the one side and very, very traditional, and takes you back a couple of centuries on the other. But around this time of night, the Mekubalim, the Kabbalists, would go out and go into the fields and watch the sun set. They would be dressed in white, and they would sing songs and psalms as the sun set, and they would greet the Shabbos bride together. Top of page 20. Lecha Dodi likrat chala, b'nei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha Dodi likrat chala, b'nei Shabbat nikabela. Shamo v'zachor v'dibor echad, Ishmianu elam yuchad, Adonai echad u'shmo echad, L'shem ul tiferet v'litila, Lecha Dodi likrat chala, B'nei Shabbat nikabela, Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, Ki mechor ha'bracha, Merosh mikedem nesucha, sof ma'aseh v'machshava tchila, lecha dodi likrat chala, b'nei Shabbat nikabela, mikdash melech imelucha, kumitzi mitoch afecha, rav lahak shevet b'yemecha b'cha, V'hu yachamol alaychem la, lecha dodi likrat chala, b'nei Shabbat nikabela, Itna ari me'afar kumi, Sheepy de tifarte chami, al yad beni shai, beit halachmi, korva el nafshi ge Allah, lecha dudi likrat Allah, Pnei Shabbat nekabela, hitorari, kiva urek kumi uri, shir daberi, kevod Adonai alai ligla, lecha dudi ligrat chala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela, Lo tevo shiva lo tikol mi, mahatish tochachi matehemi, bach yechesu aniyehe ami, v'nihis neta ir al tila, lecha dodi ligras kala, b'nei shabbat nekabila, v'hayu l'shimsa shohosayich, V'rachaku kol memalayich, yasis alayich Elohayich, ki himsos chatan al kala, lecha dodi ligrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela, yamin u'smol tifrotzi, v'et Adonai ta'aritzi, Al Yahadish behem partzi, v'nihi smecha v'nagila, lecha dudi ligrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela, Bohi v'shalom ateret bala, gam b'simcha u'zola, toch emunei am segula, Bohi chala, lecha dudi ligrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Top of page 22. In the English, let's read the outdated, not the outdated, the outdented paragraph. It's never outdated. For some verses from the Psalm for Shabbat. A song for Shabbat. It is good to praise Adonai, to sing hymns to your name, O God. Proclaim your steadfast love at daybreak, your faithfulness each night. With 10-string harp, with voice and lyre together. You have gladdened me by your deeds, Adonai. I shout for joy at your handiwork. How great are your works, Adonai. How very subtle your designs. A brute cannot know, a fool cannot understand this. Tzadik katama difrach, kerez balvano, yiskeh shetuli, beveit Adonai. Bechatzrot Eloheinu Yahafrichu Ojenuhu V'seva Tisheni Bera'ananim Ihiyu Lehayid Yashar Adonai Zuri Velo Avlatavo. Top of page 24. Let's greet the angels whom the rabbis in the Talmud tell us come every Shabbat and accompany us home from the synagogue. Two angels will greet them with the proper greeting of Shalom Aleichem. Top of 24. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hashari, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boechem l'shalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon. Mihi melech, malachei amlachim, hakadosh, baruch hu. Baruch hu ni l'shalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon. Mihi melech, malachei amlachim, hakadosh, baruch hu. Seitchem l'shalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon. Mihi melech, malachei amlachim, hakadosh, baruch hu. We have welcome to Shabbat, and Shabbat is with us. The work week is behind us, and now we just have a day of rest, a day of relaxation ahead of us. Page 146, we are ready to begin the evening service, the Arvit service for Shabbat. We'll begin on 146. Everyone please rise. Baruch hu. Baruch hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach. Le'olam va'ed. 147, let's read together in the English the first bracha, the first blessing before Shema. Adonai, your majesty is proclaimed by the marvels of earth and sky. Sun, moon, and stars testify to your power and wisdom. Day follows day in endless succession, and the years vanish, but your sovereignty endures. Though all things pass, let not your glory depart from us. Help us to become co-workers with you and endow our fleeting days with abiding worth. Baruch atah Adonai ha'ma'ariv ha'ravim. The second blessing before the Shema, Ahavat Olam. Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, Otanu limadeta. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu, V'shochenu uvkumeinu, Nasiach bechukecha, V'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, Uve'mitzvotecha, Le'olam va'ed. Ki heim chayinu, V'yorech yameinu, V'yorech yameinu, U'ahem negeh, Yomam v'layla, Yomam v'layla. Ve'ahabatecha tasir mimenu li'olamim, Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai echad. Ve'ahavta ha'et Adonai Elohecha, B'chol levavcha, u'b'chol nafshecha, u'b'chol me'odecha, v'hayu advarim ha'ele, asher anochi mitzavecha, hayom al levavecha, v'shinantam levanecha, v'dibarta bam, v'shivtecha b'veitecha, Uvlektecha v'derech, uv'shoftecha uvkumecha, ukshartam le'ot al yadecha, v'hayu l'totafot b'neidecha, uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha, uv'isharecha. למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Top of page 151, not top, middle of page 151, let's read responsively. We worship the power that unites the universe, a promise of harmony for all. Before our eyes, there's a vision of perfection, order, and goodness. When will redemption come? Long ago, we escaped the tyranny of Egypt. Our people saw the power of the Most High. Page 152. Mi chamocha va'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh, nohora tehilot, v'hosef eleh, malchutecha ra'u banecha, v'okeyam lifnei Moshe, zeli anu v'amru, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed, v'nemar kifad Adonai et Yaakov, u'galom yechazak mimenu, baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. Top of 153, Ashkivenu. Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, v'ha'amidenu shoreinu l'chaim. Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, v'ha'amidenu shoreinu l'chaim. And let's read the English paragraph together. Give us a place to rest, O God. Shelter us in the long, soft, easy shadows. You are true protection and safety. In your presence we find love and acceptance. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter and peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch atah Adonai, Aporei Sukkot Shalom Aleinu, V'al Kol Amo Yisrael, V'al Yerushalayim. Top page 154, verses from Exodus, reminding us of Shabbat and how it is important to us. It's V'shamru, and it's not Shabbat without it. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berith olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berith olam. Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael, oti le'olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berith olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim v'et haaretz, v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berith olam. Ubayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafash. Shabbat vayinafash. Shabbat vayinafash. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et hashabbat. La'asot et hashabbat ledorotam beridolam. We are at the central prayer of the evening service, the Amidah, and we're going to begin on page 155 and chant 155, 156, and 157 together. And then we'll go silently, and you can finish the prayer either reading the Hebrew, reading the English translation, or offering up your own prayer during that time. But let's begin together on 155. Everyone please rise. Adonai sifatai tifach, uvi'ani tehilatecha. Adonai sifatai tifach, uvi'ani tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avoteinu v'Imoteinu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol, HaGibor, HaNorah, El Elyon, Godel Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei HaKol, Vezocher Vastei Avot V'Imahot, Umevi Goel Ibnei B'neihem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magin, Baruch atah Adonai, Magin Avraham, Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh Metim Atarav L'Hoshia, Mogrid Atahal, Mechalkel Chaim B'Chesed, Mechayeh Metim B'Rachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim V'Rofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayeh Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Ma'ivuru, Umidom Melach, Melech Mivim, Umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah l'chayot meitim, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh ha'metim. Let's continue on page 160. We're in the middle of the page, and let's read together in English. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. May we all live in such a way that this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShahat. Page 163, a little hoda'ah, a little bit of thanksgiving. Lots of things to be thankful for in our lives. Doesn't have to be big ticket. It could be as easily as being able to tie your shoes in the morning or getting your socks to match. But you can't have hoda'ah, you can't have thanksgiving if you don't have hakarat hatov, if you don't recognize the good, if you don't have gratitude. And so gratitude and thanksgiving go hand in hand in our tradition. And as we move through the final month of Av, which leads us to the month of Elul, the season of introspection, it's good that we focus not on what we don't have, but what we have, and to be thankful for what we have and not what we don't have. Page 163 at the top, let's read responsively. For the good in us, which calls us to a better life, we give thanks.
For the strength of the world, our hearts and our hands we offer praise.
For the desire in us, which leads us to work for peace, we are grateful.
For life, nature, harmony, and beauty, for the hope of tomorrow, all praise to the source of being.
And we'll turn the page to 164, and we'll close out the evening, Amidah, with the prayer for peace. Shalom Rahav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rahav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rahav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rahav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov beinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael v'chol eit u'v'chol sha'a b'shlomecha. Shalom Rahav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rahav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Praise are you, Adonai, who blesses your people, Israel, with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamivorech et amo Yisrael, b'shalom. We're going to jump ahead to page 253 for one of the prayers for healing. This one is Mishaberach, and we'll find it on the middle of page 253. Mishaberach Avoteinu Mikor habracha Laimoteinu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishaberach Imoteinu Mekor habracha La'avoteinu. Bless those in need of healing, with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Pages 258 and 259, prayers of our community and the prayer for our congregation. White.
Source of all being, may the children of this community learn these passions from us. Love of Torah, devotion and prayer, and support of the needy. May we guide with integrity, and may our leadership be in your service. May those who teach and nourish us be blessed with satisfaction, and may we appreciate their time and their devotion. Bless us with the fruits of wisdom and understanding, and may our efforts bring fulfillment and joy.
Baruch atah Adonai, she'otacha levacha b'yirah na'avod. Mari, the prayer for our country.
O guardian of life and liberty, may our nation always merit your protection. Teach us to give thanks for what we have by sharing it with those who are in need. Keep our eyes open to the wonders of creation and alert to the care of the earth. May we never be lazy in the work of peace. May we honor those who have died in defense of our ideals. Grant our leaders wisdom and forbearance. May they govern with justice and compassion. Help us all to appreciate one another and to respect the many ways that we may serve you. May our homes be safe from affliction and strife, and our country be sound in body and spirit.
Amen. Shalu Shalom Yerushalayim, Yishlayu Ohavayich. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. May those who love you prosper. Avinu Shabashamayim, Zur Yisrael V'Go'alo, Barech et Medinat Yisrael, Reishit Smichat Ulatenu. Hagen Aleha B'Yirat Chasdecha, Ufros Aleha Sukat Shlomecha. Ushlach Orcha V'Amitcha V'Rasheha Sareha V'Yoetzeha. B'Takneim B'Eitzah Tova Milfanecha. V'Natata Shalom Ba'aretz. V'Simchat Olam Liyoshveha. V'Nomar Amen. Dennis, how about the English?
O Heavenly One, protector and redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dwelling of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love. Spread it over the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. Amen.
Amen. Thank you all. All right, friends, Shabbat Shalom and good Shabbos. It is Parshat Re'eh. We are zipping through the book of Devarim. We don't get it quite finished before the high holidays hit, but that's okay. Moshe is continuing his final lectures. Right? He's marking a number of speeches that he's giving to the children of Israel right before they are to go into the land and conquer it. And while a great deal of it seems like repetition to us, you have to remember that this is the generation that did not come out of Egypt. This was a generation that was not born into slavery, but grew up in the wilderness. And so he's reminding them of their history. Moshe said basically is that God is giving them a choice. And in the language of the Torah, it's blessings and curses. Now, in the Orthodox world, they took that literally. In the more liberal Judaism, people have trouble with blessings and curses, right? But you have to remember the biblical Hebrew is what, 3,500 years old? And they didn't have the huge vocabulary that English has. And so blessings and curses were their words for consequences. Your actions have consequences, Moshe says. If you behave the right way, the consequences will tend to be good. If you behave in the wrong way, the consequences are going to be less good. Blessings and curses. Moshe reminds them that what we do, or reminds us as well, as what we do has impact not only on us, but those who are with us. Right? We don't exist in a vacuum, Moshe reminds us and says, when you do something, it's going to affect other people. And you might not know whom it's going to affect, but it will affect someone besides you. Moshe says, basically, if you want better consequences, if you don't want the curses, observe the mitzvot. Plain and simple. right? And I know some people clutch their pearls when it says, well, if you don't do this, the skies are going to darken and it's not going to rain. And it's okay. You know what? 3,500 years ago, they saw the world a little bit differently. Fact of the matter is we haven't been paying attention to the mitzvot, and the sky does act in strange ways by dumping water on us when we're not expecting it, by heavy blizzards, by avalanches, by all sorts of things the earth does to us because we don't take care of it. Moshe is reminding us all that our actions have consequences. He says, when you enter into the land, you are going to destroy all the places of idol worship, right? Remember, one of the things in the Torah that God is very, very peevish about is the idea of idolatry. You're going to offer your sacrifices, your tithes, your gifts, everything at a specific place that God will choose, right? You don't just get to do it wherever you want. Ultimately, that's going to become Jerusalem. Ultimately, that will become the temple. And then he kind of just gives us a list of random commandments. Don't shave your head or harm your body when a loved one dies. This is where we get the idea of not tattooing. Although there's some argument of what that expressly means. He says you can eat meat. We're allowed to eat meat. We're allowed to eat sheep, cattle, deer, and gazelle. We are not to eat the blood, but rather pour it on the ground. And for the third time, we get the prohibition of eating meat and milk together. He says to us, don't add or subtract from the mitzvot. Don't follow other religions. People will try to convince you to do that. Resist. Even your own family members may say to you, hey, come on, let's go. Ba'al Pa'or. Boy, do they have a fun ritual on a Friday night. Come with me. Say no. He gets to the idea of tithing, right? The giving of 1/10 of your produce. And you're able to bring it to the temple, 10% of your produce, or set its value aside. You sell it and you bring the money to Jerusalem. And you will spend that money on the festivals and the celebrations. Every third year, your entire tithe goes to the Levites. Levites don't have any land. And to the orphans, the widows, and the immigrants. Yet another command to look out for those who are less fortunate than we are, the widow, the orphan, and the immigrant. And every seventh year, all debts are forgiven. Moshe says, regarding the poor, do not harden your hearts. Do not approach them with a clenched fist. Rather, open your hand and share with them. And God will bless you. Right? Don't fear that if you give the poor something, you are going to have less. You will have no regrets if you help to take care of the poor. Regarding Hebrew slaves, they go free after 7 years, but they're not sent away empty-handed. They're given food and clothing and a little bit of money to go and establish their life in freedom. But if there's a slave that wants to remain, he doesn't want to leave, you take him to the door and you put his ear against literally the mezuzah, the doorpost, and you drive an awl through the ear as a sign that he is now linked to you forever. He can never leave. And at the very, very end, we get a review of the Shlosh Regalim. We get a review of the 3 pilgrimage festivals, Passover, Shavuot, and Sukkot. This week, we have 55 new mitzvot. Right? Even though this is a lot of review in this particular book of the Torah, 55 new commandments of what we're to do, 17 positive, 38 negatives. And Shabbat Shalom and Good Shabbos. That's your Torah portion in a nutshell.
Shalom.
I am getting to the age where the people who made the music of my childhood and my early teen years are starting to die. This week, Robbie Robertson, the lead singer and guitarist, one of the lead singers for the band, passed away, died on Wednesday. If you followed music, rock music in the 70s, Robbie Robertson was I'm going to call him one of the prettiest guys on a stage. Beautiful voice, an amazing talent in terms of songwriting and guitar playing. And he worked with the band, which was an amazing group. And his solo work is not to be ignored. And he died at age 80 on Wednesday. He was born of a Cayuga and a Mohawk mother and raised on a Six Nations reserve south of Toronto, Canada. His father, whom he had never met, was of Russian Jewish heritage. And now I'm not going to debate whether or not Robbie Robertson was a Jew. I don't think he considered himself a Jew. But part of the irony of his band, the band, is that it had what a number of rock critics call the quintessential American sound for rock and roll in the late 60s and early 70s. And 4 of the 5 founding members were from Canada. The only homegrown talent was Levon Helm, who was from the South. One of the songs that has always amazed me and is on my soundtrack for my life is a song called The Weight, W-E-I-G-H-T. And it comes from an album, The Big Pink. And it was their first big hit. And it's about a narrator who pulls into the town of Nazareth feeling about half past dead. And if you think, wow, what a biblical imagery there, right? Nazareth. And he had other songs about special harps that were played and things like that. This Nazareth that the narrator finds himself in is not Nazareth in Israel, but rather Nazareth, Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania has a lot of towns named after biblical towns. And does anybody know what Nazareth, Pennsylvania is known for? Martin guitars. So the narrator winds up in Nazareth, Pennsylvania, the home of Martin guitars. And along the way, he meets several sketchy characters. He sees a woman named Carmen and the devil, and he asks Carmen to go downtown, and she says, no, but the devil can stay here with you. He asks Luke about young Anna Lee, and then Luke says to him, well, why don't you stay here and keep Anna Lee company? And then he meets Chester, who offers to fix his rat, right, to take care of what he needs if he'll take care of Chester's dog. But the reason he's in Nazareth is to take a load off of Fanny. But instead, he takes the load off of other people. And we never know what Fanny's weight is. The song ends before that. But she apparently sent him there with regards for everyone, all the people that he met. He's carrying a weight. He's going to pick up a weight from Miss Fanny, and along the way, he picks up weight from other people. The month of Elul is a week away, 1 month before the high holidays, 1 month before Rosh Hashanah. And I want to ask you, what weights are you carrying? What are you carrying that you can put down? What makes you feel half past dead just walking around with them? Are the weights yours? Something intrinsically you? Or are you carrying the weight that's placed upon you by others? Or are you carrying the weight on behalf of others? And when you stop and meet other people, do they feel comfortable putting their weight on you? The high holidays, for many people who don't think deeply about the high holidays, it's about this idea of repentance. It's about this idea of tshuva, of saying you're sorry, and then basically going back to the same behavior that you had for the previous year. But the high holidays are much more than that. The high holidays are a time about seeing, and especially the month of Elul, the month that leads up to the high holidays. The high holidays are not meant to surprise us. Sometimes Passover surprises us, right? Because we really don't have a month set aside where we focus on preparing for Passover. Shavuot surprises us because it doesn't fall according to the regular pattern of the holidays. Pesach begins on the 15th of the month. Sukkot falls on the 15th of the month. Shavuot does not. But the high holidays have a month of prep, Elul. And what that's all about is to see where we are. Where are we in our lives? Where are we going in our lives? And do we really want to be going in that direction? We can change. The word shuv, where we get the concept of tshuva, really does mean to change. You look at your life, you look at yourself, and you say, I can do better, I deserve better, I want more, but not necessarily more physical things, not more things. But like Passover is the release from Mitzrayim, release from the narrow place that constricts us, keeps us from being who we are. The high holidays says, open up the road and see where you are and see how it's going and make changes now. You pull into Nazareth, you pull into Huntington, you pull into anywhere. And if you're feeling half past dead, why is that? Individually, the weights can be very light. Somebody asks you to keep a secret. Somebody asks you to do something. But they have a cumulative effect. It adds up and you find yourself burdened. You feel that your life is spinning out of control and you can't do anything. The month of Elul, the high holidays, say to us, we can do something. We can change. We can change ourselves, we can change our lives, we can change our situations. Starting next week, the question we should be asking is, what can we do to make our lives lighter? How can we unencumber our souls? What are we carrying? Is it worth it? Can we drop it? Shabbat Shalom and good Shabbos.
Well done. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Let us, no, not Elena, Mari, Sam, somebody. Kiddush time, that's right. See, I had two of you here and I thought, I'm not gonna, and I dropped it. It is Kiddush time. Kiddush time.
Kiddush.
Kiddush, Dennis. Say it proudly. Kiddush.
Kiddush.
We're sanctifying Shabbat with wine, or in my case, grape juice. Grape juice. Grape juice. Grape juice. As opposed to raspberry juice. Vayi'er vayivoker yom hashishi. Vayachulu hashamayim v'haaretz. V'chol tzivam. Vayachal Elohim bayom hashvi'i. Melachto asher asa. Vayishbot bayom hashvi'i. Mikol malachto asher asa. Vayavarech Elohim et yom hashvi'i. Vayikahadesh oto. Ki bo shavat mikol malachto asher bara Elohim la'asot. Savri. Baruch atah Eloheinu melech olam. Borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Eloheinu melech olam. Asher kiddeshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratza banu. V'shabbat kodsho v'ahava uvratzo inchilanu. Zikaron lema'aseh bereshit. Ki hu yom techila lamikra'e kodesh. Zecher letziat Mitzrayim. Ki banu bacharta v'otanu kiddashta mikol ha'amim. Mishabat kodshecha v'ahava uvratzon inchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai v'kahadesh hashabat. was a good week for grape juice. All right, friends, now we're going to start closing out. Page 282. Please remain standing for Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon ha'kol, la'atei gedula liotzer b'reshit, shelo asanu k'goyei ha'ratzot, v'lo zamanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo zam telkinu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol ha'monam. V'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim akadosh baruch hu shehu notei shamayim v'yosei haaretz u'moshe v'yikaro b'shamayim b'ma u'shli natu zo Begov hey meromi, Eloheinu einod, Emet Malkeinu efesulato, Kakatu b'torato, Yadata hayom b'hashevota, Elevavecha, Ki Adonai hu Elohim. Vashamayim mimal, Yal haaretz, mitachat eino. Kakatu b'toratecha, Adonai yimloch, le'olam va'ed. V'ne'emar, v'haya Adonai, l'melech, al kol ha'aretz. V'yom hahu, yihyeh Adonai echad. Ushemo echad. May be seated. This week we observed the following yard sites. Harry Klein, Mitch Klein's grandfather, Albert Poland, Sidney's father, Rebecca Slotkin, daughter of Louis and Lillian Gaffin, Margaret Island Cohn Kaplan, Ed Island's sister, Anna Kagan, Harold's mother, Joseph R. Hamill, Dennis's father, husband of Gladys, Fran Leslie Jurin, Nathan Jurin's aunt, granddaughter of Nathan and Bee Jurin, Morris Klausner, Paul Mayer's maternal grandfather, Alan Mallinger, father of Marilyn Poland's son-in-law, Rabbi Lawrence Mallinger, Randall Miller, brother of Carolyn, Samuel Pastor, Ethel Levine's brother-in-law, Isabel Spindell, Donna's mother, Mary K. Miller, Charlotte's mother, Betty Ann Miller, Dutch Miller's wife, Mark and Matt Miller's mother, Michael Shrinsky, Sherry Solochek's uncle, Mickey Goldenberg, wife of Abe, mother of Janice, Nancy Herman Blanchard, Bernice and Jack Herman's daughter, sister of Ira, David Shrinsky, Sherry Solochek's father, Norma Ruth Webster, Judy Lundy's friend. May their souls be bound up in the bond of life eternal. May their memories be a blessing to us all, and may they always rest in peace. Mourner's Kaddish, page 294. Yit Gadol, Yit Kadash, Shemei Rabbah, Ba'alma Divrach Kirei, Bi'amlik Malchutei, B'chayei Chon, B'yomei Chon, Chayei D'chol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agalah B'zman Kariv Yimru, Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah B'varach V'olam Olamei Almaya. Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitpar V'yitramam V'yitnaseh. V'yitadar, v'yitalev, v'yitalal, shmei kusha, richu. Le'lam yinkol birchata v'shirata. Tushbachata v'nechamata, da'amiram be'alma v'imru, amen. Yehi shloma graba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'imrumav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. All right, you may be seated. Just a couple of quick announcements before we turn to page 321 for our final song. Mr. President, do you have something you want to say?
I actually have a few things to say tonight.
Oh, well, I'm going to sit down.
I actually have something to say tonight.
You always have something to say. Good to
Sometimes.
see you. Like that vest.
Thank you.
And they take us on the road.
All right.
That's it. We're going
Shabbat
on.
shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
It's good to see some familiar faces and some new faces here. A lot to announce. First and foremost, the temple approved the restoration on the outside, the repairs, and they have started on it. We anticipate it being complete sometime in probably October or hopefully sooner, but that's going to be done, and we're very happy that that's been approved and moving forward on that. Also, we will be, we're still working on the Jewish Cultural Festival. I would like to still talk to people who want to volunteer and help. I have reached out to people and I've talked with some people that do seem interested, and I'm very encouraged by that outpouring of support. Tomorrow we have our usual service at 10 a.m. and then Sunday we have a service at 9. The rabbi will also be giving Hebrew lessons. Is that correct?
Hebrew at 1?
Hebrew at 1. And then we come back to, I believe, the Yiddish choir, and that is on.
No, we have at 2. We have the introduction to Tanakh.
I
the Jewish
apologize.
Okay.
At 2, we have the introduction to Tanakh, and then we go to the Yiddish choir, and that is on Wednesday by Zoom. And then we're back here. I think, is there anything else? Oh, very important. High holidays. I'll get it this time.
They're sneaking up on him.
They are. I've spoken with Beth, Rabbi Cantor Beth. I'm having problems the last few weeks.
You call her a rabbi and she won't come.
I know.
She is a cantor.
I know.
Not a rabbi.
She's been traveling. I did make contact with her, and Cantor Beth will be here for the high holidays, and she's very excited about coming here, and we're very excited to have her and looking
Yay.
forward to seeing people fill the aisles, so to speak. It's good to see a good turnout today, and I hope we'll continue to have a good turnout. I'm real excited about working with you all, and I appreciate the support. Thank you.
All right. Well done.
Very good.
All
All
right.
right.
All righty. Let's, any rebuttals? No, just kidding. Well, he's a lawyer. He's used to that.
I've already been accused of unethical behavior today.
You said you weren't going to tell.
That's all right. I kid.
No, I did not accuse him of unethical behavior.
It's from Charleston.
Oh,
Always from Charleston.
always from Charleston. All right, page 321, Adon Olam. Adon Olam Asher Malach, B'terem Kol Yetzir Nivra, Li'et Nasa B'chepsa Kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nivra, V'yacharei Kichlot HaKol, Levado Yimloch Nora, Lehu Haya, Lehu Homer, והוא יהיה בתפארה, והוא אחד ואין שני, לעם שלו להכבירה, בלי ראשית בלי תכלית, ולא העוז והמשרה, והוא אלי וחיו לי, וצורב לי ביצרה, והוא ניסי ומנוס לי, Menat kosi biomekra biado avtiruchi bi'etishan bi'ahira bi'imruchi geviati Adonai li velo ira. Well, look here, we have a number of people saying good evening to us via the intertubes. Let's see who they are this evening. David Johnson, Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, David. Oh, there's Mom. Shabbat Shalom to all from Rabbi's mom, Kathy. What is this with this name? Kathy, you are Mom. And Cliff, thank you, Mom and Cliff. Taylor McIntyre, Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, Taylor. Same to you. Bella Robinson, Shabbat Shalom. Bella, good luck at law school. Heather Watts, Shabbat Shalom and well wishes. Thank you. Judy Lundy, Todah Rabbi. Enjoyed participating again in service. Judy, we love having you participate with us. Found your talk sermon giving me thought. Good. Todah and Bavakashah. All right, friends. Beautiful night out there. Enjoy it. Hopefully it will be a beautiful Shabbat and a beautiful weekend. Lots going on. Please, please, please join us. Shabbat Shalom, good Shabbos, and please be careful out there.
Not too much fruits.
Shabbos.